Hello friends, it's Nancy from Astrology and Angel Mediums today with a slightly different video. I don't really know if I'm going to put this under my deck unboxing playlist or decks that I love playlist. I don't really know. So I know in some of the deck unboxing videos that I have posted, I was talking about a art project that I was doing and using some of those decks for. So now that Christmas has come and gone, my the intention of that project has finally been done. So I completed my version of my project yesterday. So as you guys may know, I love making my own stuff out of what I can find. So it's one of the reasons why I love doing the bone and charm readings or like using a clarimancy kit, things of that nature. Even whenever I'm doing readings, I bring a lot of different oracle decks and tarot decks, and I like to kind of mix and match. And I, at one point, had seen the Alleyman Tarot on Kickstarter. I had always wanted one of those decks. Unfortunately, I have just never been able to get one while they were, in production or whatever. And after thinking about it, I've joined like different Facebook groups and things like that. And I've seen that people just kind of started making their own like Alleyman style decks. And this is probably not a new concept, but it was something that was very novel to me just because as someone that has read tarot and collected tarot over the years, I have always just kind of kept my decks as is. And as soon as like if I would lose a card or something, then I would use that to kind of give those cards away or, cut them up for like an art project or for like journaling or whatever versus thinking I could use the rest of the deck for something else. So while it may not be the most like fun kind of put together deck, I did choose a bunch of different decks that I thought would be fun to kind of add into my collection and kind of use for my own creation of my own kind of Magpie oracle. So I used quite a few decks from Hay House, and then I used one from called the Uncommon Tarot because I really loved it. Now I also used the deck or all of these decks, like one of my children also loves tarot, so that was one of the things that they did for themselves as well. So we kind of made like a whole day of it, of just kind of picking and choosing, and we did the whole thing. So the Uncommon Tarot deck was a slightly larger size, so I did cut mine down. They're terrible. I've never cut down a tarot deck, and I don't have like the little corner rounders and things like that. So I was just kind of doing it with some scissors. So it may look a little janky, but that's okay. We're progress, not perfection kind of vibe is what I'm trying to do in 2025. So I'm going to kind of show you the cards that I chose. So mine is an 80 card deck right now because I added a couple of cards. So as you can see, this first one is not a tarot deck, but it's healing. And I just thought it'd be great to add into my deck. And I'm just going to kind of show you what I put together. So here we have the Fool. I haven't even sorted these or anything like that other than what I've done. So this is one of the ones that I cut myself. As you can see, it's not that great. This is going to be my, so this is my Magician. Here's my High Priestess. Here's my Empress, the Emperor, my Lovers, which these are all out of order. Here's my Hierophant. Here's my Lovers. Here's my Chariot, my Strength card, my Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune, Justice, my Hanged Man, my Death card, Temperance, my Devil card, my Tower card. Now, it was funny because I was really struggling between the Tower card out of the Muse Tarot, which I really, really love the imagery, but ultimately decided to go with the Light Seers Tower card. And I may still switch it out because I'm still kind of like in this, like, I don't know if it really goes with like the vibe that I was kind of going for. I'm going to see if you guys can kind of pick up on like what vibe I was going with this deck. I have the Star, Moon, Sun, Awakening. This is another one that I cut and I did a really bad job on this one. Or Judgment, the World. And then this is another card that I added out of a different deck. It's just the Universe, which I thought was nice. And here's my Ace, my 2, my 3, my 4, my 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then my Page, the Knight, the Queen, and instead of a King, I decided to go with the Muse of Inspiration. So here I have my Ace of Swords, the 2 of Swords, 3, 4, the 5, the 6, 7, 8, 9, the 10, and then this is my Page of Swords. As someone that loves to read, I love this book, or I love this card and the imagery of it. So here I have a Knight of Swords, my Queen, and then again, instead of a King, I went with the Muse of Voices. My Ace of Cups, my 2, another one that I cut myself and it looks so janky. So 3 of Cups. Anyone that has a steady hand cutting cards and can round them beautifully, I mad props, because I tried to do it and I was trying to be so careful and I still could not get it right. So my 3 of Cups, I loved this 3 of Cups. I was kind of struggling between the Light Seers 3 of Cups, which I do really love the imagery of it, where it's like 3 women kind of like facing off into the distance and kind of like with their arms around each other. But as a true Taurus, snacks. So the 4 of Emotions, the 5 of Cups. Again, this is another one of these cards where I was kind of like, I liked the imagery and the simpleness of the 5 of Vessels out of the Light Transient Tarot. And it was like 3 cracked eggs and then 2 eggs inside of the nest. But then I was like, this is a little bit more evocative for me. And so that's kind of what I was trying to be a little bit more intentional. The 6 of Cups, the 7 of Cups, another one that I cut myself down and it looks very just not that great, but we tried. The 8, the 9 of Vessels, again, lots of food. There's going to be a lot of food-ish home things here. I am a Taurus after all. The 10 of Emotions. I decided to use the Princess of Cups instead of the Page. I couldn't find the Knight of Cups that I really liked, and so I was like, let's just go whimsical then. So I used the Knight of Cups from the Tarot of Curious Creatures. The Queen of Cups, I loved this kind of magical witchy vibe. And then the Muse of Emotions from the Muse Tarot. Here's my Ace of Pentacles. I love, love, love the aces out of the Unfolding Path Tarot. I love the artwork. It's so beautiful. And while I would have liked to have had all of the aces in my deck, my child had kind of chosen some of those too. So I have the 2 of Materials, the 3 of Pentacles, which I just loved the fun kind of vibe here. The 4 of Pentacles, the 5 of Materials, the 6 of Pentacles. This is another one that I was trying to find a card that wasn't just like showing the 6 Pentacles. I wanted something that kind of kicks you off onto what it could possibly mean, what that energy is like. And out of all of the decks, this is the one that I felt kind of really demonstrates the energy of the 6 of Pentacles. Then we have the 7, and then the 8, the 9 of Materials, The Ten of Pentacles, which I really love, the representation of just a beautiful home, just everything very cozy, putting, you know, like basically having that foundation, that peaceful sort of life. And then the Page of Materials, the Knight of Pentacles, the Queen of Coins, another one that I cut myself. This one looks marginally better, but it's not the best. And then the Crown of Coins instead of the Muse of Materials, because again, one of my children took that last card. So that is kind of what I chose. I had the intention of making it more feminine, more earthy for me, with imagery or correlations to what the cards mean, as well as something that felt cohesive overall. Now, you guys may not have gotten that out of what I've, you know, kind of shown you. So since this is so many different cards, I don't know how this is going to shuffle because I have not shuffled it yet. And again, I have not the biggest hands, so I always kind of struggle with very large decks. That was one of the reasons why I decided to kind of cut down some of the cards from the Uncommon Tarot, because they were just slightly larger. So I just had to kind of like cut them a little bit more. I am thinking I may want to edge this deck. I've never done that, so I will be researching how to do so and see how that goes with everything. And I want it to just look a little bit more finished, a little bit more personalized. So this will be my very first kind of reading with this deck. So let's see. My hands are so not that big. I have a jumper. We have the Tower too, which I kind of ignored. We're like, no more Tower cards, please. Let's leave Tower cards in 2024. Or maybe it's because it's like, I know you don't actually want me in here. So we have Judgment or Awakening. So I used about, I think, 9 different decks in this, or 8 different decks. I had also purchased a couple other ones, but they just didn't seem to fit with the other kind of vibes that we had, and didn't really have cards that we were looking for. So let's see. All right. Okay, we have Death and Rebirth. Oh, and then we have the Sun. Lots of major cards here. Crazy. And then the Hierophant. So it's funny that we have 2 cards out of the Uncommon Tarot and then 2 cards out of the Light Seers deck. So I will see how I feel about possibly reading with this on my channel for like a pick a pile. It'll look kind of funny because, or maybe I'll just do a weekly check-in with this and see how it goes. I want to see how this reads, not just for myself, but also like others. And I'm also going to try to find something, or I may sew something to kind of put it in. I like doing these little tarot cloths. Let's see if I have mine over here where you guys can see it. And it's kind of been here, we're just going to put these guys up. So I have, it's literally the easiest thing to sew. It's not complicated, but then it becomes a nice little like reading cloth for your space. And this is a pretty big one. And I just used like a fabric sample. And then it has the little string on it. So I may make one that I really like. I have some fun fabrics that I can choose and kind of utilize. My child ended up taking like an old Ipsy bag and did that. So this is kind of what I use, and this is what I would use when I would read in person. So I would always have like somewhere clean to put my cards on and to kind of use as like my little reading space instead of having to take like a tablecloth with me. It's just all wrapped up and bundled up. And so I have like a tiny one for a mini something work the deck that I have in my purse that I always carry, but I would like to carry this in my bag as well. I feel like we'll see. But if not, I have this little velvet bag at the moment. So I don't know. I guess let me know what you guys think of this idea. Is this something that you would consider doing with your decks? I know it's a little scary for sure, because as someone that really likes to just kind of keep things as they are, I don't always have a lot of creativity when it comes to like changing the decks and things like that. And I used to think that I didn't like decks that have very like mixed art or whatever, but for some reason I just really love the vibe of this deck. I really like how everything is stuff that I hand chose with a lot of intention, as far as like what I relate to those images and to each of the cards. And so I just feel like not only is it a very personalized deck, it's also a deck that is unique to me and will also be something that can either grow or shrink or change, and it's fine. It's one of these things where I feel like there's a beautiful uniqueness to it. So let me know if you guys have ever heard of the Alleyman Tarot. I'll probably link some information on it down below in my description box, but I really love the way that this turned out, even with the limited amount of decks that I used. I know it's supposed to be like way more different decks and you're supposed to have like all kinds of different cards, but I was like, how many of my decks that I presently have do I want to kind of like change and, not have a full set of? So I was like, let me buy different cards, and I bought some from some resellers as well to kind of add into this. So I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that you enjoyed this. Please take care, stay safe, and as always, make good choices. Bye.